This video is a reflection on mental health, on stress, and on the healing power of nature. One of the most important contributors to mental health problems, and indeed to general health today, is stress. We're living an epidemic of stress, which is threatening to overwhelm us, and which is the cause of so many serious mental and physical diseases. But we can learn to deal with stress when we truly understand its causes and we learn how to manage them. Stress can, of course, be positive when we call it eustress. This is when the energy generated by circumstances, together with our perception of them, results in greater alertness and engagement. The implication here is that we are at least partly in control, and we're enjoying the process of challenge, discovery, creativity, and achievement. Enthusiasm is rarely stressful. In addition, enthusiasm is contagious and inspiring for others. Hard work and stress are not the same thing. Even very significant workloads can be tolerated without stress when the person learns to flow with their environment rather than fight it, when they manage their time and know how to do that, when they develop their emotional intelligence and are consciously self-aware of their thoughts and their feelings, when they're able to judge and distinguish between what matters and what doesn't, when they know who they are and have a balanced perception of their strengths and weaknesses, when they recognize the importance of relationships and trust, and when they're authentic and honest, not least with themselves. Most importantly, when they have respect and regard for their fellow human beings, their family and their friends, for nature and the environment, and especially for themselves. You cannot give what you haven't got, and it's by giving to others rather than taking for ourselves that paradoxically we reduce our own levels of stress. Stress originates in the mind, and it's in the mind that the solutions can be found before they become physical or pathological. And we'll come back to this later. Stress quickly becomes distress, however, when a person faces continuous challenges without relief or relaxation and doesn't know how to deal with this. The person then feels out of control, and stress-related tension quickly builds up. Cortisol and other hormones are then released into the body, triggering or aggravating many diseases and pathological conditions in a variety of complex and interrelated ways. Prolonged or severe exposure to stress can then lead to physical symptoms, including headaches, gastrointestinal problems, chest pains, insomnia, elevated blood pressure, heart problems, diabetes, an impaired immune system, and even cancer. Neurological and psychological effects of stress will include damage to the brain and the central nervous system, memory disorders, learning difficulty, impaired decision-making, attention deficit, and poor judgment. And these in turn lead to mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, panic attacks, paranoia, extremes of emotional temper, and emotional instability, even regrettably and increasingly suicide. In the US, a recent study has shown that 43% of adults currently suffer the adverse effects from stress. 75% of all doctors' appointments are for stress-related conditions and complaints. And the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, in the US, has declared stress as a workplace hazard. Stress costs American industry more than $300 billion annually, and that's just for medical costs, not the costs of poor judgments. The lifetime prevalence of an emotional disorder is more than 50% due to chronic, untreated stress reactions. And similar statistics apply in almost every other country. Is it really necessary to risk our health in this way? Is it not better to develop a deep understanding of the true causes of stress and to take the trouble to acquire the skills to deal with them? Now, there are profound psychological and philosophical reasons behind the true causes of stress, but we don't have the time to go into all of these in this video. Suffice to say that this is what my colleague and co-author Katie Lockwood and I and our associates, this is what we teach in order to provide anyone who wants to learn with a sustainable and durable method or way by which to manage stress in all its forms, in all its complexities, and wherever it occurs. It is, of course, nothing short of a radical change in the way we think and hence perceive life. But we can start here today with just some simple advice.
In this video, we will provide just 2 pieces of practical and simple advice for managing stress and alleviating many punctual mental health issues. The first pointer is to learn to breathe properly. Most people's breathing is shallow and rapid. The immediate effect of this is that heart rate and blood pressure increase. There is a build-up of cortisol, which increases stress levels and is known also to speed up aging. With shallow breathing, the body remains in a cyclical state of stress, which becomes habitual, leading to panic attacks, dry mouth, fatigue, respiratory problems, and cardiovascular issues. So guidance number 1 is to learn to slow the breath, and equally importantly, to breathe with the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic breathing means breathing in slowly, using the stomach and not the chest. If you lie down and place one hand on the stomach and one on the chest, breathing in such that only the hand on the stomach moves up and down. If you observe how babies breathe, this is their normal practice. It is only through the conditioning of our high-stress lifestyle that we have unlearnt how to breathe properly, and therefore have adopted shallow, erratic, rapid breathing. So whenever feeling stressed or triggered, stop and breathe in and out, slowly using the diaphragm. Breathe in through the nose for a count of 4, and holding for a count of 4, and breathing out for a count of 4. Breathing out properly expels carbon dioxide and other waste gases. Repeat this at least 3 times slowly. Science has shown that slow, deep breathing through the nose is associated with significant reductions in stress. Evidence of stress reduction, such as slowing of rapid heart rate and decrease in blood pressure, were immediate. So please regularly practice breathing slowly and correctly. It's simple to do and highly effective. The mental health impact is very significant. The second guidance we would recommend is to reconnect to nature. Studies have demonstrated conclusively the soothing, stress-relieving and calming benefits of spending time in nature, which helps with such mental health problems as anxiety, panic attacks, and borderline personality disorders. Research into ecotherapy, a type of formal treatment involving activities in nature, have shown benefits in mild to moderate depression and many other types of mental health problems. Clinical studies have also shown that 2 hours of nature sounds a day significantly reduce stress hormones up to 800% and activates 500 to 600 DNA segments known to be responsible for healing and repairing the body. Here are a few quotations from people who either suffer from stress or from other mental health issues, as they speak about the benefits of keeping connected to nature. I've been getting out into nature and walking, either on my own or with dogs, to manage my bipolar disorder. It helps to keep me calm and physically healthy, and I love taking the time to be aware of all the beautiful scenes around me. Even when living in a city, watching and listening to the birds always has a calming effect and takes me out of my head. It is hard to explain the power of nature in relieving both my physical and my mental stress. There is little more relaxing than looking at a hill and hearing the nearby stream trickle away. There is something about the quiet calm of nature that is contagious, leaving a quiet calm in my mind. When you are in nature, only the real stuff matters. Staying warm, staying fed, staying watered, and knowing where you are. Your mind is free of all the daily stresses, and you can spend the time being in the moment. Reconnecting to nature means rediscovering the miracle of life and the beauty of existence. Just observe the flight of a bee busily collecting pollen and nectar from flowers. Listen to the divine song of the blackbird in the evening. Walk through woods or a forest and sense the majesty of the trees. Look at any flower closely and marvel at its simple beauty. Solomon, in all his glory, was not arrayed like one of those. Walk along the river and feel the freshness and effortless flow of water. There are very simple reasons why nature has such benefits to us. Nature is not hurried. It does its thing in good time. Nature sustains us in every way, and we depend on it. It feeds all our senses, and it stimulates physical and emotional responses. There is a Native American saying, which is, "No tree has branches so foolish as to fight amongst themselves." Nature has much to teach us. The fact is that we live in a giant ecosystem in which we are all connected. We cannot survive without nature any more than a bee can survive without the flower. When we learn to fully understand and appreciate that, stress ceases to exist. The last 4 minutes of this video are all about nature. Only 4 minutes. Please make the time to watch and listen. Leave your mobile alone, put on your hearing pods, and avoid distractions. Just watch and listen, breathing slowly and deeply using your diaphragm. The results will truly surprise you.